Hi, here's my next video. Today I'm going to show how I've added a whole bunch of stuff to the Asteroids, a new script, some new movement, and how to create isolated asteroids as well as asteroid showers. So let's jump right into the game here. Play. Alright, so watch for isolated asteroids to come out. There's one. Shoot it down. And then a shower. So all these guys came from the same direction. Here's another isolated. Here's another shower. There's an isolated. Came down with that group. Isolated. And a shower. So they also drop the screen gas with a high percentage rate. Okay, so let's go into the code and see how I've implemented the isolated versus the shower asteroids. So go out of play there, head over to my script, head to the top here. Oh, I'm in enemy stats. Asteroid. Okay, so in the last video I basically had the asteroid just moving in the horizontal direction, only changing transform.position.x and adding a little bit to it each time. Added a whole lot of functionality here. You can see all this code here. So let's start at the top and see what it does. I have variables for the direction. This m and b are the slope and the y-intercept of the equation that I'm going to use. Very simple line from algebra. And the x speed. I also have a type here. This is going to tell me if it's an isolated asteroid or if it's a shower asteroid. Down in the start function, I want to create set the position equal to some value that is going to be farther to the right than my camera can see or farther to the left than my camera can see. So depending on the view, the camera can see about plus or minus 12 in x. So I'm going to create a random number between 0 and 5, and I'm going to add it to 15. So this will give me a number between 15 and 20, so that is outside what my camera can see. And right at the moment it's just a positive value. I'll show you how to get it negative in just a second. So then I want to know what the y-intercept is going to be. I've set this to a random number between -3 and 7, so this gives it a good spread in the screen. I can change these if needed. The x speed, this is how fast the asteroid is going to go. So I've randomized that between two different numbers, 4.5 and 6 here. So even in a shower, there are going to be different speeds for the asteroids. Alright, so I haven't shown yet how I got the type. That comes from the wave script over here. But once we are in the start function, the switch is going to say, alright, are you a type 1 or type 2? If you're a type 1, then I'm going to ask for a random number between 0 and 1. If it's less than 0.5, so half the time, I'm going to set the transform.position.x to negative position. This will put me over to the left side of my screen somewhere between -15 and -20. The direction is going to be a positive 1. This means for me that I have set it up so that every time I update the x, I'll just show you down here, it's going to say add some amount depending on the direction times the x speed times delta time. So this direction is really important. If I have my asteroids over on the left side of the screen and I tell it that the direction is negative, then it's only going to move off to the left side. It'll never come into the camera view. It'll eat up some memory, and that's a problem and is inefficient. So if the random.range is not less than 0.5, I come down to the else, and the transform.position.x equals position, and direction is -1. So the asteroid will be between positive 15 and 20 in x, and the direction is -1, so it moves left and will come into the screen. Okay, after the if and else, no matter what happens, I set the slope equal to negative direction times some range between 0.5 and 2. So if you remember from algebra, if the slope is 1, then that means y equals x. You're basically going on a 45-degree line in the xy plane. And if you're less than 1, that's a shallower kind of a slope. And if you're larger than 1, you have a steeper slope. Okay, so keep those in mind. Type 2, so if this is a shower asteroid, then the direction is set by something else in the wave script, bonus wave direction. And the transform.position.x will equal negative direction times position. So it has a little bit of a different form than up here because I'm calculating that stuff elsewhere. The slope is going to be negative direction times wave.bonus slope. Okay, so I'll head over to wave in a bit and show you where those come from. The transform.position.y is going to be set equal to a function that I set below, y position, and I send in the slope and the y-intercept to calculate that. We'll get there in just a moment. In the update function, the x and y get updated. I've already shown the x, so direction times x speed times time.delta time. No, this is just an added value, so this will move in x, either to the right or to the left, but the y will be recalculated each time, depending on the new x position. And the slope and the y-intercept don't change, but I need to know what those are each time. I don't actually have to send these in as parameters because I've declared them up here at the top of my script, but I am doing that just in case anything ever happens. Okay, so the on trigger enter for the asteroid now, if it runs into the player, I remind myself here something's going to happen to the ship, which will happen elsewhere, and the get component enemy stat, so this is on the asteroid, its own enemy current life gets set to 0. If it runs into a player bullet, then I have to set rules for all the different weapons. So if it runs into or it gets hit by a bullet of type 0, then it's only going to take half damage. This is the standard bullet. So 0.5 times other.getComponent bullet stats .damage. The case 2, which is the ion cannon, I'm going to say that the ion cannon does not affect asteroids at all. It's just going to pass straight through it. So case 1 and 3, case 1 is the durable bullet, and case 3 is the laser. They do full damage to the asteroids. Going down a little bit more, here's my function y position, where I receive the slope m and the y-intercept b, and I calculate this equation here, y equals m times x plus b. So m times transform.position.x plus b. Alright, let's head into enemy stats really quickly. Nothing much has changed here, but in the update, when the current life is less than or equal to 0, I want to see what object this is. Now remember, enemy stats is attached to all of the enemy objects, and now the asteroid, which is not an enemy but a neutral, but I've lumped it in here. So I say if the GameObject.name is asteroid clone, so my asteroid now has 0 or fewer hit points, I'm going to destroy it. I'm going to instantiate an explosion, and I'm going to do a power-up. The gas power-up is going to drop at a high rate, so I'm going to ask for a number between 0 and 0.1, and if it's less than 0.6 or 60% of the time, I'm going to drop a power-up. So I can change that if it's too high or whatever, but the asteroids are supposed to be bonus material, either bonus waves or something like that. They're also dangerous, but I want them to be helpful. Alright, in the wave script, I've added some lines to the asteroid section here. So bonus wave direction, bonus slope. I've added bonus next time, bonus wave num, and let's go down here into start. The changes are going to be reflected in initialize wave, so that's down below. Nothing much has changed in the update. Let me show you what did change. Okay, so when I create an isolated asteroid, I want to know, I basically want to give it a type 1. So this section of code here, this if statement, I already know this is for isolated asteroids. So they get the type 1, and then in the other script, asteroid, I know how to handle those in the switch statement here in the start function. If it's a shower asteroid, then I've done quite a few changes here. I've had to add a variable called bonus next time. It's not calculating the difference between wave time and bonus begin time, but now it's going to do it on bonus next time. This will make more sense as I go along here. So I basically am asking, is wave time greater than bonus next time? If it is, great, I go into this section here. If the wave time is less than the bonus end time, then I'm going to create a clone, instantiate it, and then I'm immediately going to say clone.getComponentAsteroid.type equals 2. So that tells me in the asteroid script how to handle the direction and the slope and the position. And I'm going to add a little bit to bonus next time, so that at regular intervals during this short shower time, I'm going to get a bunch of asteroids to come onto the screen. Okay, once I'm past my bonus end time, I need to reset these values. So my bonus wave num is going to get incremented, and that's important because my bonus next time is going to get a new value. It's bonus wave num, so 2, 3, 4 times the bonus begin time. So every so often I'm going to get a new shower. So that could be every 15 seconds or every 20 or 30 or however often I set it to. And then the bonus end time gets updated with bonus next time. This line stayed the same, the number of asteroids. And then I also need to get a new value for bonus wave direction and bonus slope, so that every single shower gets a new random number, but all of the asteroids in the shower have the same value. Okay, going down here, let's see, so bonus wave direction, this is the function initialize wave, so the game starts off calculating what the bonus wave direction is, the bonus slope, and all these other values. And now I've added this line for bonus next time, which starts off at bonus begin time, or whatever time the first wave should be coming out. Okay, bonus wave direction. I'm using random.range a lot here, so the bonus wave direction is going to be either a plus or minus 1, so return a plus 1 there or minus 1 there, and it's all based on a random number between 0 and 1. If it's less than 5 or 0.5, then I get a positive 1, or else I give it a negative 1. So 50-50 chance for the bonus wave direction. And then the bonus slope, I'm playing around with these numbers right now. The slope will be a little shallow, less than 1, or a little steep, greater than 1. So anywhere between 0.5 and 2, I'm going to have my slope for the asteroid shower. Alright, now I'm just going to show all the bullets here. So when a bullet collides with something, it's going to come into this switch statement. It used to say boss and enemy, and now I've added neutral. I can show how to add a tag here in just a second. So if the bullet 1 hits a neutral object or the asteroid, then the bullet's going to be destroyed. Bullet 2, same thing. So if you need a reminder, when you go into a switch statement, it goes down and evaluates what case you have, and wherever it evaluates as true, it enters the code there and evaluates all of the lines of code until it hits a break statement. So if it looks a little bit funny to see case boss and then case enemy and then case neutral without any lines of code in between here, just remember that it enters at whatever line. So if this bullet 2 hits an asteroid, it's going to enter here and run all these lines of code. But if bullet 2 hits like a boss or an enemy, it enters at that spot, and in this case it runs all these same lines of code until it hits a break. So the durable bullet is going to be able to go through asteroids just as it goes through other objects. The bullet ion is going to be a little different. I'm going to say that it doesn't hurt the asteroids at all. So case neutral just has a break statement immediately, and then I have a comment here to remind me that there should not be any code there. And then the bullet laser, it will act the same as the other bullets. So boss or enemy or neutral is just going to get destroyed. Alright, so that's all I have now. Thanks for watching.